Hello, everybody. We are live. We are here. We are ready for the press conference reaction. And then after, I'm going to be doing my preview. Then I'm going to do another stream where I basically go through the last 10 games of the season and see where we'll end up, in my opinion. And then after that, so yeah, we'll do that after this. Basically, I'm going to do my preview after this. That'll be out tomorrow. And then after that, I'm going to do the stream. So I'm trying to get it all done before 4, hopefully, because this will be going till like 3:20. They started early actually. The press conference, I think the thing saying coming soon came up earlier than normal. Normally it comes up at, the time, like it said 3 o'clock, so it comes up at 3 normally. But it came up a couple of minutes before, so maybe that means possibly it might start a bit earlier. Maybe. Probably not. Probably not really. Probably have to still wait here for another little bit. Why did I just do that? Let's do that, be a bit over like that. I think that's like the middle. That should be around the middle, I think. We should be in the middle. Oh, here, around there. We'll just do it here. We're good. Okay, we're good. How's everyone doing in the chat? Because we are here, we are ready. We are all here for the press conference. Leeds United press conference for the game against Millwall. I hope someone actually asked Fark about the changing it up a bit, maybe. That's what I want to see in the middle. Here, around there. We're good. Okay, we're good. How's everyone doing in the chat? Because we are here, we are ready. I want to make sure I can actually hear my own voice, so that's why you might hear it for a second, just making sure the audio is working. I hope someone actually asked Fark about the changing it up a bit, maybe. That's what I want to see in the middle. Oh, here, around there. Okay, we're good. Okay, yeah, you can hear me. That's good. Okay. I mean, you can hear the audio. That's what I meant. You can hear the audio. Yeah, I hope someone asked Fark about maybe changing some things up a bit in the maybe. But like, I've seen people say some ridiculous things. Honestly, like people are saying, "Well, People after one loss want Solomon out for one bad performance where he was getting doubled up on and sometimes tripled up on during that game. So it's really hard to put any blame on him, in my opinion, because he was getting like tripled up on. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe start Nonto or Ramazani, and then because they won't be tripled up on because they're not like what Solomon's done this season. And maybe that's what we do. But some people want James out as well, who's probably, in my opinion, been the championship player of the season, up there in contention for championship player of the season, in my opinion. Just one player of the month, and people want him out after one bad performance. And people want Joseph up front and play Pirro in the 10, but I keep saying this, starting Pirro in the 10 is not going to be the same as bringing him off the bench. It's not going to be the same as him playing the last 20 minutes in the 10. Well, the press conference has started, and guess what? It's muted again. Oh. No, we're good. Okay, we're good. Yay!
Can you just take us through what you have to do in this rare occasion after defeat, such as on the way back with a train full, a coach full of players?
Yeah, first of all, to deal with the disappointment. Everyone is, of course, after loss disappointed, and in the first minutes, first hours, couple of hours, no one wants to hear about any thoughts about football or whatever. So it's more like you have to leave the players a little bit alone, and then it's more like also like myself and the coaching staff. Obviously, especially in the evening, we analyze the game again, watch the game again, watch the scenes again, and yes, and the next morning you speak in a pretty calmed and objective way about the game, what went wrong, what were the positives, what do we have to improve, and how we judge the situation. You show some scenes, what we can improve. So in a quite normal way also to send some messages, what's also important for the upcoming days. And of course, after a win, you do this always in a pretty good mood, and after a loss you're always a bit more disappointed, but the work that you do stays more or less the same in order to have this post-match analysis then ready for the players, and then obviously good training sessions for the players who didn't have that many minutes, good recovery sessions for the players who were involved yesterday. And then after that, also like the preparing for Millwall starts again.
We had a former player, A.D. White, with us at the weekend, and we talked about his career and how it's elite players, you compartmentalise things quite quickly. So in the case of a defeat, if the players have got something to
Sorry,
say
guys,
to
I'm
each other,
trying
do you
to
get
see
that
if
done
this-
in the dressing room straight away rather than getting talking about it on the way home?
It depends. I quite like to have a little talk straight away after the game to give my first thoughts and my first feelings, and also that everyone is already more or less on the same page, and we speak just a few minutes already about the game, and sometimes even that the players give an opinion or have a little chat with each other. That's a normal stuff, but especially then after I've lost, it's also not like you overanalyze it already in the dressing room. It's better to do this in an account and less emotional circumstances, and this is more or less the normal approach.
It's also one loss.
I suppose it's perfect, really, to have a game so quickly. In some ways, I'm not saying in terms of rest, but to try and get back on the horse, as it were. Daniel, is it ideal that there is a midweek game this week in some ways?
Yes, I agree. I'm also not too concerned about this quick turnaround anyhow, because we had at least, or will have at least, and more or less 3 proper nights in between. So the advantage of the early kickoff is you have a few more hours to recover, and also like the night sleep was not disturbed.
You know, that can go either way.
Yes, we will be 100% ready also
if you win, you're
for
like,
the game
yes,
on
okay,
Wednesday. Obviously, they have one more day to
turn it around. But if you
recover.
lose again, you're
that's
like,
always a little
God.
disadvantage, but we're not searching for excuses.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we want to be ready to go again and want to make sure that we get this, if possible, this winning feeling back into the dressing room.
It was quite a tough encounter at Portsmouth in many ways, but to the naked eye, it didn't look like anybody came off with any injuries or there was any issues. Are you pretty much picked from the same squad again then?
There were 1 or 2 knocks and a few bruises, but nothing I'm majorly concerned about. So I hope to have at least the same amount of players and the same players available like I had for the last game. Also, it seems
a couple
to be
of knocks, but they should be all good.
Should be prepared,
Okay.
and it will be more or less the same squad. Yes.
And just looking at some of the performances at the weekend, when you look at Tanaka, he has been sensational this year, and he did drop below his level at the weekend. Do we sometimes underestimate just what a great job that people like him have put in already this season?
Yes, of course. This is also what I mentioned straight away after the game. Of course, I was a bit disappointed that we were perhaps not that effective like we normally are in both boxes. And in general, if you have a look, and for example, normally on a normal day, I would say Joel Pirot goes home with 2 goals under his belt, and if the referee spot on
Pirot normally has
gives a
would score 1 or
penalty,
2
he has
goals.
always scored each every penalty for us, and would have been even 3. But what can I say? The same with Junior Firpo. Normally 1 against 1 against the goalkeeper, he scores in such a situation, or the chance against the crossbar. But they've done so well in the last weeks, and they were also highly motivated to bring the ball over the line. They were the most disappointed players in these situations, and then it's not like to accuse, and it's more or less the same when you have a player like Tanaka. Or when I speak about my whole midfield after the injury of Islam Padu, we have 3 players more or less for the midfield positions available. One is Tanaka, who is playing his first season in English football, his first season, when there are 46 games. He's outstanding for us, and of course he wanted to be also outstanding yesterday. He didn't have this best day. Yes, had a few losses of the ball and could have been a bit more switch on defensive wise also yesterday. But then no problem anyhow. So if it doesn't work, then it's not his day. Then after 60 minutes or 65 minutes you substitute him and bring a different player on. And it's not to criticize him too much anyhow for one performance when he's not at his best. Or same with Ilya Gruev or Joe Roswell sometimes. So
I thought Gruev was okay.
It's more like we must not forget Joe Roswell. For 2 years, he has hardly played a game right now. So he can't be always outstanding, especially not when we have a week, when we have 3 games within 6 days. So of course we mix it a bit up in midfield. Or Ilya Gruev, since he came into our lineup more or less in, when was it, January 24, I would say probably till his big injury, he was our most consistent player. He was outstanding for us, defensive-wise, offensive-wise, controlled our game. Then he sacrificed his body. I think it was away at Norwich. Got a tackle against him. He was out for Everyone said more than 4 months. He worked so hard and his socks off in his rehab, more or less 3.5 months in order to come back as quick as possible. Everyone was moaning when he was out about our away form. We don't win the away games anymore. Ilya Gruev, after being out for 3.5 months, we brought him back. Burnley away, clean sheet. Watford away, clean sheet, win. Coventry away, clean sheet, win. Yes, and right now after
I'm happy you're talking about Gruev like that, because Gruev's got a lot of stick recently.
After he was out, after he was back, after being out for 3.5 months, he had 1 or 2 poorer performances in the starting lineup away at Sheffield and against Sunderland. Yeah, but we will still manage to win both games anyhow when he was in the starting lineup. So, and everyone is complaining a little bit about him. So, I don't like to complain about performance of players who have done so well for us over such a long period of time.
I'm happy you're talking about Gruev like that, because I think Gruev's been kind of...
in this moment, of course, I was a bit disappointed yesterday.
Wasn't even that bad.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed after his performance against Sunderland or Sheffield United. Yesterday he was way better, by the way. I think our best midfielder yesterday on the pitch.
Yeah, he's our best midfielder,
perhaps the last home game was not perfect anyhow, but it's more like in this moment, come on, we stick to them and we believe in them and give them some praise and a hug, and we need them. And it's also important during this period not to be overly critical. We have fantastic players. It's important to get behind them and to make sure, come on, they're also mentally ready to go again, to defend the shirt again. And I'm pretty sure on Wednesday, whoever I will pick, that we bring a really good performance and make sure that we go back also like to a successful feeling in the dressing room.
Go back on a win streak again.
Sam Chambers has signed a new deal till 2028, Daniel. How much have you wanted that to happen for him? And can I also ask you about Harry Gray and how he's recovering and how close he is maybe to being more involved?
Yes, perfect day for Sam. Also his birthday today, so great day for him and great news for him. So we are delighted. I like him a lot, and I believe in this player. So he has developed so
Sam
much.
Chambers is
it was no coincidence that he had also this first experiences, also like first time in the starting lineup during the cup game against Millwall, and also
look out for the future.
Her first appearances, more or less on championship level, was several times in the squad already. So the new contract is not a gift. We believe in him that he can play also. Major role for us in the future, and it's one of our cornerstones of our philosophy in general, that we want to develop our own players, and he's one of our academy product. I think everyone who was involved on our academy level can be proud also to play a part, and it's important. It's not like we can always spend lots of money and buy players. We also want to develop players, and also in terms of the identification of our supporters with the players, but also the other way around, the player with the badge, if he comes through our own ranks, it's even a big identification. And for that, it's perfect news for him and his family and his loves, and also perfect news for us, and we're all happy. Yes, and with Harry, like always, before a player really makes a first step into the spotlight, anyhow, I'm always a bit careful in a press conference to speak about his strengths and to praise him too much. He is, with us and trains well and develops well and got match experience also. Meanwhile, in our under-21 is doing really well, and his rehab is done. He's meanwhile back in team training also since several weeks, and he's progressing, and we will look carefully after him. We won't rush it too much anyhow. So we're happy that we have him, and he's also one of the players in the category of Sam Chambers where we think, okay, they can play important part also in our future, and we'll also look carefully after Harry.
And finally, for me, obviously Millwall again, and wasn't that long ago, but I imagine it'll be quite different lineups, obviously a different occasion, but you know Alex Neil really well, so no surprises for you, would you say, come Wednesday night?
Well, you never know, but in general, so I spoke quite highly about him, and I know he's a very experienced manager, and knows the championship inside out. So his handwriting is always obvious to see. His sides are always there. Was very competitive and with his handwriting, so it's difficult to beat them, and they always show resilience and they go for it. They're brave, also, especially also in away games when they can use a bit more like the position against the ball and then to develop their game out of these situations. Dangerous side, especially also in away games, they have a really, really decent away record, and they've proved this more or less also in the last away game. So we have to be back at our best. Need to create at least as many chances as we did away at Portsmouth. Just need to find our goal-scoring boots in this game, and then hopefully when we should get a penalty, there's also a penalty rewarded in this game. We will see. So definitely we have to be at our best. It's difficult to be successful against Alex Neil's Millwall side, and for that, we have to stay pretty focused. Thank you.
Hi, Daniel. Jayden, obviously, he's picked up a few yellow cards this season, and he's close to a suspension, we believe. Is there any thought about potentially rotating him for that game?
I forgot about that. He's one yellow card away, isn't he?
Because the suspension risk and the risk of him missing 2 games.
Forgot about that.
Is there any thought about rotating him at all?
No, because of suspension risk. We have not done the same with Joe Roden, and he came through. So if we would save him right now, then he has already missed 1 game. Then we can also live with more or less with the suspension. Of course, it would be mean then 2 games anyhow. But I also hope that he comes through without a yellow card. And to say even before the game, okay, I'm happy to play this game without him, and I accept that he misses only 1 game. I think it would make no sense. So he's a top player for us, a very important player. Yes, you could always speak about out of tactical reasons or because of the load, because we have 3 games within 6 days to speak about this. But overall, so he came through this game, the last game, also against Josh Murphy, without a yellow card. I also rested him a little bit in the last 20 minutes because we need normally his drive also in going forward.
Josh Murphy actually played well as well. He played well against us.
So also like the last Millwall game, for example, in the Cup, we've played without him and we struggled a bit to create enough chances.
Yeah, I don't have
so it's always
StreamYard,
good to have a fully fit and Jayden Bogle who is on it in this game because he can deliver assists, he can deliver goals anyhow, and I'm pretty pleased that I have him as an option also for this game as well.
Yeah, thank you. And Largy, when he's come on recently, he's been very lively, obviously against Portsmouth, put in a few crosses. How close is he to challenging Manuel for that left wing spot?
No, here's what people wanted to hear.
Well, I believe in all my players, and it's important also, like when they come in, it's important that they use these moments, and especially when you get, I think it was 30 minutes on the pitch, anyhow, then you try to impress also, like in many situations, and it's important that you are on it and also show lots of workload. This is also the way you fight your way back into the game, and I don't want to judge too much his last performances then in the way in public, but I'm also not overly critical with players who come in because they are also sometimes not in their full rhythm, and also of course a bit difficult. Once you've played 4 or 5 games in a row, then it's more difficult, it's easier, to make an impact in comparison to you come in and then you have to make an impact just within 30 minutes. But it's professional football. This is what you have to do, and then you have to impress with your workload, with keeping the ball, with making things happen.
I probably wouldn't change it because I think Solomon's played very well this season, and he's had the outcome. Anyhow, we didn't score a goal, we didn't assist. It's not like I wouldn't change it.
After our substitutions, our offensive game was much improved. Anyhow, you could be critical. I'm not anyhow because I back all my players and also all the players from the bench because I know how it is also to make an impact. But this is more like the only solutions. Once you come in, use your 20, 25, 30 minutes in order to impress.
And finally, for me, how important will the fans be on Wednesday against Millwall? How important is that home atmosphere in what will be a very big game?
Well, all the games are big. Like we always speak about 46 games, but again,
10 to go.
Our home games are also
and
crucial.
Massive games to
one
go.
of my cornerstones, once I signed a contract here, was to make out of Elland Road Fortress, and I think we did last season, but also this season, and this is always the basement.
It's still a fortress
for success, and we need our supporters.
I don't think it's as good as last
league,
season.
the best supporters in this country.
It's still
again,
up there.
and why should not everyone be excited? It's more or less like we have earned 150.
I hope we can win the next two,
not
just
allowed to
going into
speak
that
about numbers
international
anymore.
break.
But a lot of money in the last summer.
Winning the next two would be massive going into that international break.
We had to deal with the sell of some of our most important players. And right now we are there after 36 games with 76 points. Means, I'm not sure, but it's probably the best outcome in any season that we've played at Leeds United. We're top of the league. We have won many points. We are the best home team, and we know, yes, we have 5 home games to go. And if our supporters sing us more or less to 5 home wins, we will definitely be in the top 2. We have a situation more or less like, we will definitely finish in the top 4 in this league. That's a privilege after 36 games to be allowed to speak about. Like,
we'll definitely finish in the top 3, surely.
Top 4. We have great
I
chances
wouldn't say top 4. I would say
better.
top 3 definitely.
Perhaps even in the top 2.
I would say top 3 definitely.
We are league leaders.
Sunderland are
we
not
have the
catching
best
us.
goal difference, and we still have 5 home games upcoming, and we know what 5 home games, 5 wins would mean, where it would take us in terms of points. And hopefully we have a great connection again with our team, with our supporters. They need to help us at the moment, because from some other sides it seems like we don't get the. Not even asking for help anyhow, but it's more like when you have a look at the schedule, 3 games in 6 days. When you have a look on some decisions anyhow, penalties that should be rewarded, not in our way. When you have a look in what happens, it feels like each and every game day manager is celebrating on the pitch. The only one who is banned and suspended for the next game is a manager of Leeds United. So we don't get much help from other sides. So we have to help ourselves. So our team together with our supporters.
We need to take one game at a time for the rest of the season.
And make sure that we are as successful as possible in the upcoming 5 home games. And I'm also pretty sure we'll also have the chance to win a few points also on the road. But the basement are also our home games. And if we manage to be, there's one unity, and that they need to carry us also during difficult periods. Right now we have not the easiest period in terms of schedules. We have not the easiest periods in terms of fair refereeing anyhow, or refereeing after the rules anyhow. We have not the easiest period because we have to deal again without our captain, our most important player, Isna Padu. We deal
we miss
exceptionally with this situation anyhow, but it's not that easy for the boys, and for that we need our supporters again. So everyone has to be at his best at Elland Road on Wednesday evening, and we have to make sure that against a really strong opponent that the whole stadium is buzzing, and we all together try everything in order to be as successful as possible. Because my gut feeling is after the last days and weeks, there is no help from the outside world anyhow. We have to help ourselves, and for that we need a great atmosphere again. Thank you very much.
It's on us, basically. And I think that's the end of the press conference. Yep, that's the end of the press conference. So no news on the injury. So no news on Bamford, Voba, Ampadu. I think they'll all be back after the international break, though. I thought we might have heard something since, Bamford's been kind of back in team training. Thought we might have heard something about that. But yeah, mainly what we heard about was just basically it's up to us. Just win our games. And I'm happy what he said about Grev. That was a big thing. I'm happy what he said about Gruev. That was good, because I think Gruev's been playing well recently. I'm going to go now, go make my preview, and then go do my live stream after. So I want to